Welcome to the Sage Advice Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to our podcast. I'm Ed Kless, and today's episode is cut from another podcast of which I am the co-host, The Soul of Enterprise, which is also sponsored by Sage. The Soul of Enterprise is dedicated to belief that business has a spiritual, though not necessarily religious, component. I hope you enjoy this excerpt. If you do, please visit www.thesoulofenterprise.com for more. What is your analysis of just from a data standpoint what's going on with COVID?
That's a really good question. So the view that I have is really a snapshot of a broader view I have. So COVID is kind of shining a light on a fundamental problem, and that is that the availability of data will enable us to really accomplish some pretty amazing things. But in some cases, it's going to come at the cost of privacy, and we have to find the balance of that. And so with COVID, we actually have massive amounts of data that we could use to track the movement of people who've been infected, to track the contact that they've had with other people, whether it's tracking the movements of cell phones and proximity with other people with cell phones, facial recognition that we know is fairly widely used, and all of those things give us the opportunity to use data to be very, very analytical and surgical about how we handle the pandemic. But that would come at a tremendous privacy cost. And so, and that is true just in general, right? In everything that we do with privacy, with data to innovate, to create, to solve problems, there will always be that privacy question that comes with it.
Yeah, sure. And actually, that's a perfect lead in, because I think that there's some things that we want to talk about that's related to that from an accounting standpoint. And as I mentioned, we last saw each other at the Partner Summit, and you had been first talking about the release of Sage Business Cloud. In fact, I rewatched your speech and you said, put your cell phones away. This isn't out yet, but now it's out and you can talk about it. So why don't you share with me kind of at a high level, what is Sage Business Cloud and what are we doing with it?
I'm glad you're giving me this opportunity. I've been working with our head of product marketing to find a way to tell the story of the Sage Business Cloud in simple terms that is very easy to understand. We've spent the last year or so doing the technology work behind it. And explaining, why the technology matters, and it's actually, when you get down to talking about what it means for customers, for companies, it's a bit harder. And so the way to describe it is first to give a little bit of a backstory to why now, right? Why is this the right direction for technology now? So there's two pieces to that. So the first is that there's been an acceleration in the availability of technology across a number of dimensions. First of all, we have virtually unlimited horsepower available to us in the cloud, right? And we can spin that horsepower up elastically, right? We can take as little or as much as we need to do whatever the size of the job that we need is. And that's true for computing power. It's true for network. It's true for storage, right? You go on and on. Everything has become abundant. That abundance has led to the availability of what used to be pretty exotic technologies like artificial intelligence. And so the combination of the availability of these exotic technologies and this computing horsepower essentially says we're no longer constrained, right? We can design a solution to all the problems of business. We just have to throw out the way we used to think. When you think about accounting systems, right, we used to deal with batches, right? The whole world, the whole process, or the accounting team was organized around batch processing. Well, that's an artifact of the world of limited computing, right? You just couldn't deal with the data without that. So what that set up is we have the ability to help businesses completely digitize. And it's not just taking tasks that prior to this era were manual and paper-based and automating them. It's rethinking business models. It's creating business models that leverage digital technologies. And so the Sage Business Cloud at the highest level essentially says we're providing our customers with technology to create and to incorporate these digital business models, digital transformation. I was trying to avoid the word digital transformation because it's thrown around so much.
Yeah.
But when you say we want to help people change the way they think and work so their organizations can thrive, with the Sage Business Cloud, we add to that in the era of digital transformation. So the first piece is technology to enable digital transformation. The second piece of that is, well, what's the job of humans in this new world? If we've got these fully digital business models, what are the humans going to be doing? Well, the answer is they're going to be doing much more valuable work. They're going to be making decisions. They're going to be collaborating with other humans. They're going to be, dealing with exceptions. They're going to be managing the work that AI does. And so, in addition to all this technology to digitize, we have to create a different experience. We have to design the way humans interact with technology much differently. So I'll give you a little example. Humans don't trust AI yet. It's, we just have a long ways to go before humans trust AI. So if we're going to use AI to automate a lot of what's happening in business, when we create a user experience, when we design how the human works with software, we have to actually think about the psychology. We've got to design the software, understanding that the human doesn't trust the AI, and we've got to build that partnership. So the second piece of it is building all of those experiences. Now that's at the highest level what it is. Tangibly what it is it's a bunch of applications, platforms, business services like banking and payments, or collaboration and workflow that are all designed to work together in this modern digital environment that really espouses these concepts of digital transformation and elevating the work of humans.
For more Sage advice, visit and subscribe at sageadvicepodcast.com.